hope Americans are listening. I hope my friends on the other side of the aisle who take the other side of this issue will begin listening. There needs to be a reevaluation. America needs to take a second look, a long and sustained look at the surface appeal arguments of the abortion rights side. Abortion is violence against children. It dismembers a child. It decapitates a child. It chemically poisons a child. And one of our earlier speakers talked about RU46 and how telemed abortions are being promoted by Planned Parenthood. RU46 actually operates in two ways. The first chemical starves the baby to death. So the child in utero, the child in the womb, simply cannot get nourishment to continue living. And the second chemical brings about the expulsion of that baby, who is usually dead, but not always. If that isn't child abuse, if the other methods of abortion are not child abuse, I don't know what is. This idea that birth begins, or life begins at birth, belongs in another era, especially with ultrasound technologies available. As several of my colleagues have said, the window to the womb. As a matter of fact, it should be noted that even the leading pro-abortion activists in the 60s and early 70s, Dr. Bernard Nathanson from New York, one of the three co-founders of NARAL, which is one of the leading pro-abortion groups in the country, Dr. Nathanson said he presided over 60,000 deaths to children as he ran the largest abortion clinic in New York City. He went on to become a pro-lifer. And what caused that huge change of heart, both in his mind and in his heart? It was that he began doing blood transfusions and began to see that an unborn child is a patient just like any other patient who may be sick, have a disability, that early efforts and interventions could mitigate whatever that anomaly might be. And because of that, he said, how can I be in one room killing a baby with poison or dismemberment while in another doctor's office or in another operating theater providing this prenatal surgery? He saw the schizophrenia inherent in treating some children because they're wanted as being acceptable, and we welcome them. If they're unwanted, they're throwaways. You know, the feminists had it right when they said no woman should ever be treated as an object. Well, we all know that the unborn child, if he or she is unwanted, is treated like an object and a throwaway, and no human life is a throwaway. Let me also say that Abby Johnson, who just recently, a little over a year ago, left a Planned Parenthood directorship in Texas. What caused her to change? She saw an ultrasound abortion in real time and said, I just saw the baby crumple right in front of my very eyes. And you know, if that isn't a human rights abuse, I don't know what is either. So she became a pro-lifer and now speaks out very, very boldly. Finally, Dr. Alveda King, as I mentioned earlier, is Martin Luther King's niece. Dr. King had 2 abortions. She was a, quote, pro-choicer. She now is one of the most eloquent pro-life leaders in the United States and even in the world. She has said, how can the dream survive? Talking about her uncle's dream of inclusion, of human rights, of civil rights for all. How can the dream survive, she writes, if we murder the children? She goes on to talk about how the African American population in this country is so disproportionately targeted by Planned Parenthood and others, and the number of abortions for African Americans are about 5 times the rate of Caucasians, and it is because of targeting, and there are other reasons, but that is one of the main reasons. That's where the Planned Parenthood clinics are, frankly. Abortion hurts women. She makes it so clear. She is eloquent in her defense, as are others in the ministries to women who have had abortions. One thing about this pro-life movement, and I've been in it for 38 years. I've been in Congress for 31 years. It loves them both. It says to both the mother and to the baby, we want to put our arms around you. We want to help. We want to be of assistance. And to any post-abortive woman, we're all about trying to help and to assist and provide some kind of pathway to reconciliation. And that's where the post-abortive women like Dr. Alveda King play such a crucial role in helping women who otherwise would feel so disenfranchised and left out. I want to thank our leadership, Speaker Boehner, our Majority Leader, Eric Cantor, We have a very pro-life leadership who recognizes how sacred life is, how this Congress, this House, needs to defend the defenseless. Tomorrow I will be joining the distinguished speaker as he speaks on the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion Act. We will be having a press conference tomorrow, and we have over 125 co-sponsors. I have never seen a leadership so dedicated to protecting innocent human life as these individuals in our leadership. And I would hope my friends on the other side of the aisle would take a second long look at the carnage, the unbelievable pain and agony and suffering that abortion has visited upon women. It is not pro-women. Abortion exploits women. And it's certainly not pro-child either, because it decimates unborn children as well. So we have a great leadership. We have an excellent group of members, men and women, Democrats and Republicans, and I do hope that we will move this human rights issue forward. The young people are with us, and